Well, here we go, another thrift store find. This picture was actually on Facebook, this before picture, not too long ago. This is a cute little mirror. I love it. Definitely original, but it needed a little bit of love, so that's what we're going to do. Here I am removing the mirror from the back. As you can see, they have it taped on there because it was really loose, and we're going to work on that at the end. But right now, we're taking that mirror off, and I like to take my pieces apart as much as possible. It just makes it easier to paint them and just to work on them. So as much that I can take apart and break down, that's what I like to do. Now you'll see the pink velvet in that box is beautiful. It is in perfect condition. So I'm going to take some painter's tape and I'm going to just cover that top part up, because when I repaint that little drawer, I do not want to get anything on that velvet. Now we're going to take the little hinges off that hold the mirror into place. There again, like I said, the more you can take apart and break down, the easier it will be, as long as you can put it back together again. Now, you can kind of tell I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. It has a texture on it. I don't know if you can pick it up in the video, but I love the texture. And so from the very beginning, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm going to start out with this Waverly Silver Lining chalk paint, and I'm just going to kind of do one step at a time and just let it lead me as to how I want to finish it, because I don't really have a clear vision of what I want to do with the mirror. Sometimes that happens. You just kind of have to work on it, and just as you get it, then you fix it. There is one paint of the Silver Lining. It does take 2 coats of that to cover up those flowers good. But I love the chalk paint. No sanding, no priming, just put it on there and look how beautiful that covered it. I painted the inside of the drawer too, because I like to be able, if you pull that drawer out, it's going to be pretty up in there too. So I went ahead and painted the inside where the drawer goes. Now I'm getting the paint on the drawer. Again, it takes 2 coats on that too to cover up, especially that front part there where all the flowers are. I actually thought about repainting flowers on it or some kind of a design, but I didn't really like that idea either. Now here's the little knobs that hold the mirror in, and this is a great idea to take them with the little screws and just stick them down in a little piece of styrofoam. It is so helpful. It will hold it in place, and it just makes it so easy to paint and to dry. Okay, now I've got the white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm just going to kind of dry brush over the gray paint. I love adding the white. It just kind of brightens everything up. And, you know, like I said, I don't really have a clear vision. And as I'm looking at it, I just keep thinking it needs something else. So that's what I'm trying right now, is I'm going to just give it a good coat of just a dry brush on the edges and some of the surfaces. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the little mirror section. I'm just using my dry brush technique, and I'm going to apply a little bit of the Waverly white chalk paint to that. You know, this is personal preference. You can go crazy with this. You can not do as much as I did, or you can totally leave this step out. It's totally what you like and what look you're going for. Now I'm going to add a little bit of that to the drawer. Now I'm just kind of wiping off. I want to just stress it just a tad to let some of that previous color of the little knob show through. So I just wiped off a little bit of the paint. And now I'm kind of putting everything back together so that I can get a better look at how it's coming together. Definitely a big transformation. I'm starting to like it a little bit better now, but I'm still, when I look at it, I'm still kind of thinking, I really just it needs something else. But I love the color, definitely farmhouse looking. And so that's when I decide to use this elephant Waverly paint, and I'm just going to kind of just go over some edges, just kind of highlight some of the curves, just add a little bit more character to it. When I looked at it, it just still looked a little bit plain. So I still wanted to keep it simple. So that's when I decided to just add a few touches with this darker gray. That elephant is a darker gray, and it really makes it pop. I'm really glad that I went that direction. I'm starting to kind of get a vision now, like I'm loving how it's turning out, and I'm pretty excited with how the finished product's gonna be. Sometimes it's just that way. Sometimes you just kind of have to do one step at a time and work on an item and just let it unfold as you go. And sometimes, actually, those are the very best ones. Still adding it just here and there to the edges, a little bit to the knobs there. Like I said, just to kind of give it a little character. I got a little bit more than I wanted, so I'm just wiping off some of the excess. And you know what? That's the great thing about paint. You can do that. If you get too much, wipe a little bit of it off. You know what? Worst case scenario, you can completely start over. So don't be afraid to try different things. Okay, now I'm going to add the mirror back in. I cut some pieces of cardboard to add back there because, like I said, the mirror was really loose. So I added some cardboard and also tightened up the screws on those hinges. Now I'm going to add a few pieces of greenery. And to me, this just like is the icing on the cake. This really just sets the whole little mirror. What I'm going to do here, I put a little bit of hot glue on that stem, and I'm going to take some of my jute twine and I'm just going to wrap it around that stem because I want to leave the stem on, but I don't want that ugly green showing. So I'm just going to cover it up with this jute, so with some hot glue. I'm going to do that to both pieces of the greenery. And now I'm just going to place them not quite in the center, kind of off to the side just a little bit, but just kind of crisscross the bottom of them. And look at that. I just love how this turned out. Definitely farmhouse. So just kind of simple and clean. I really love it. Thank you so much for watching the video. And I would like to just ask you if you would like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps me out a lot. And also click that bell. And that way, whenever I put out a video, you'll always be notified. And you can also subscribe to my blog at familyofflair.net. Lord bless you.